Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching this series. This is all about closing the gap between scales and chords. If you're learning to play lead, improvise, write guitar parts, or write melodies over chord progressions, and you're trying to figure out how to relate a scale to a chord progression, that's what this series is dedicated to helping you do. The first part of this whole three-part series was about how to spell a major scale and the intervals involved. 2 whole steps, 1 half step, 3 whole steps, 1 half step, that gives you a major scale. This is what it looks like on your guitar. If you haven't checked out that video, go check that one out, because this one is all about stacking thirds and harmonizing the major scale. When we first were breaking down the major scale, we said that when we start this pattern of whole steps and half steps on a particular note, that note is the key and the root of the scale. But now what we're going to do is we're going to make each note that we got from this pattern the root of its own chord. So what that means is that the C major scale has a C chord, a D chord, an E chord, an F chord, a G chord, an A chord, and a B chord. And what we're about to do is break down all the notes in each of those chords. So this process, like I've mentioned, is called stacking thirds. And what we're going to do is we're going to start on this note, we're going to skip D, we're going to go to E, we're going to skip F and go to G. So we just went every other note from C. And if we put those 3 notes together, we get C, E, and G. We're going to do the same thing starting on D. We're going to get D, F, and A. And we're going to do the same thing on E. We're going to skip F, go to G, and grab B. And then we're going to do the same thing on F. F, A, C. And then the same thing on G. We get G, B, and D. If we were to do the same thing on A, we get A, C, and E. If we do the same thing on B, we get B, D, and F. So there you have it. We just harmonized the C major scale into triads. Now, looking at this, we can't see what kind of chords they are yet. We're going to do that in the next video. But first, a couple of points about what we just did. The process of stacking thirds is one of many ways you can create chords from a scale. It's a pattern, and just like we used a whole step, half step pattern to create a scale, we know that changing that pattern slightly will give us a different scale. By changing the process of stacking notes on top of each other, we're going to create different kinds of chords. So a takeaway from this would be if you were to alter the way that you stack thirds, you create other types of chords that would work with this key and can be a really cool way of discovering new sounds. Alright guys, I hope that sheds some light on how you harmonize a scale and gives you some tips on some other ways you could harmonize a scale to create some cool sounds. Now I want to break down exactly what chords we got and how to conclude the series. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks again for watching.